Hello, folks, and welcome to Central Florida and some very dysfunctional drainage. There's a difference in this community between one side, which is racially different, and the other side. Here we see amenities. The other area you'll see no amenities at all. Zero. Yet they all pay taxes and they all have dignity. This is the Gerald survey, which subdivided land back in the 1800s, 1904. We've got to get the governor involved. And the county took down the green signs and made it very unfair. Took down the green signs over in the black area and made the roads private. These are county roads. They were county roads for 50 years, going into the school. It was a segregated school, and things weren't equal. But this is a real problem. This is one of the settlers of the Gerald subdivision. It was the subdividing of the land way back when it was agricultural. I know this video is going fast, but this is the crux of the situation. That swale on the left-hand side, it's sort of a ditch. It's everything to these people in this neighborhood because it's drainage. And that drainage now is going to, here you see the engineering people, and that drainage is going to the residential area because of this fence and the fact that the county has, at some level down deep inside the engineering staff, has agreed that it's okay to have, here it's on the right with a looking north, it's okay to have that ditch filled in. And here you see a green sign. The green sign signifies a county road up to that school. And if you lose that green color, you lose everything. The road is no longer a county road. Now, 20 years ago we stood there and we looked at this and we looked at these problems. We realized that the community had been underserved, no culverts, water streaming in from this industrial situation. These industrial people are in complete violation of EPA. Here's 1950s pictures. Here's a modern picture. The problem is that EPA is totally ignored. So how do you trust when the county engineering department says, well, we're going to put a permanent retention pond in the black community to hold this water? Now we've just cemented the problem, and it's just impossible. Here you've got a county commissioner. They come down. They mean well. They're trying. We've actually gotten some money. They figured out that this is a black population. We knew it was by the red circle. It's a lot of poverty. We knew that because they get no services. They never have. We get it that engineering has tried forever to back up these other people and to put this retention pond over in the residential area. And now they've brought the equipment in. We just can't have this, folks. We can't trust that they're going to actually do the right thing. We've got to get the governor involved or somebody, maybe on Trump's level. Now, here's the look. If you look on the right, that's the swale. That's not the greatest thing in the world, but it holds the water. So this boy comes along. It's a trust, Boyer Albright. Okay, and they put a fence in, and the county goes along with it. They go along with it, they say, well, that's private property. No, that's part of the easement across the entire state of Florida. In no county in Florida can a man buy a lot, put up a fence, and redirect water into a residential area. It just doesn't happen. EPA, the governor, Congress, golly, we've had everybody out there. Government is the answer, and I hate to say that, but there's a state law, state statute 95-361, that says that there's an easement on any road that's been used and maintained for 4 years. Well, obviously this was maintained for 100 years. This is a Google picture. This is a modern video, but we have Google pictures, evidence of 100 years. Here's the devastation, health issues. Here's why we have EPA. Here's why we have basic rules for point source. It's called point source pollution, and it causes health issues. These folks go to the doctor for asthma, for all kinds of issues you can imagine, and living in this with this lack of dignity from the local government. That's why we've got to get the governor involved, Congress, maybe Donald Trump. That sounds extreme, but we've worked on this thing for 20 years and we've gotten nowhere. We're very close now. We have to take this new federal funding and actually follow the law. All these people, these are just civilians that are trying to get this problem answered. They're about dignity. This is a Fort King Lions Club in Ocala. Here's the sheriff's district representative, our congressman, Bobby James on the school board, Baxley, the state senator. All these people can kind of help. They all, their heart pours out, but they don't really get anything done because they can't. It isn't, the day-to-day isn't their responsibility to get a ditch recognized. But the governor can do this. And I think the governor can actually send someone down. I've heard the man speak, and we can enforce. He's there to enforce this statute, 95-361, and get this fence off the easement. Then we get rid, this 95-361, it's hurting these people. And if we can get that fence moved, it's going to allow the ditch to go back, and so this water won't be forced, driven across. See, you can't change the topography without a permit from EPA. And we've got federal money, we've got a federal enforcement, we've got the FBI, it sounds extreme to have to get authorities involved, but it will protect our commissioners, it will protect our congressmen, it'll protect these people, just the dignity of having to live in a second-class environment because water is pushed across the road. It's not raining right here, but the rain has just stopped, and you can see where the rain goes. Now, there's a lip on this property, and here's a parking lot. This is so industrial, and the water comes down. It's not allowed to go into this huge swale because of this fiction about a railroad that used to be here, and it finally goes down to the engineering department, and the engineering department in Marion County defends all of this dysfunction, and they're struggling to make it work. I know they're under a lot of pressure from someone to make sure that this continues and that the water ends up in this small black community. The solutions, with my tractor and a couple of people in the community, we could have everything functioning. And the county's got the equipment. The county knows how to lower a lip on the side of the road so that the water stays in that area, or it, in this case, goes into this DRA. But they say it's at a capacity, and oh, Lord have mercy. It's here you see the rain. The rain is, here's an example. We get out there, and I'm just trying to document this thing. So see how the water is allowed to come down, completely illegal. They got to have a permit to do this, and of course no one would give them a permit to do this, this industrial area. Send the water across the road, comes down, gets on the road, forced across by the topography changes, heads on down, and it's going to go into that little crossroad up ahead. Used to have a green sign, used to be maintained at a height that didn't allow the water to go into the community. It allowed it to go down along the road and get into the swales on the side. Here you see, that's when the sign was green, and this is a school road that goes through this little black community. And all of this, now you can see how it's carved out. And it's carved out by the water, by design. We could put a $300 culvert in there and keep the road in the roadside, keep the water in the roadside ditch. Now look at this. The indignity of this, to know that when people drive by, this is what it looks like in front of your house. And this is what the county officials, our government, is really, they're aiding and abetting this. It would be funny, it would be a joke. It would be laughable if it wasn't so serious, because septic tanks don't work, mosquitoes. We've got this Nile virus thing that Governor Scott was talking about all last year, and it's in the villages now. We can't have water being brought down and dealt with in this fashion, and the indignity of doing this in front of a person's home in its little tiny black neighborhood. And yeah, they did the survey. They found out it was a black neighborhood, and they found out that it's just not treated fairly. All of that swale, that huge swale, none of the water that goes into it is water like this that it could go into it, but no, it's saved and it's sent into the black community. And now they've got bulldozers up. They're clearing the land, and they're going to take this water and put it into a swale. Now here's the green sign. I know this is a little redundant, but there's the green sign, and those have been taken down by some workers under somebody's orders at the county commission level. And then this water is sent in from the industrial facility, and then this road got backed by, this fence got backed by the county engineering department over what they call a prescriptive easement. The guy's trying to get that fence to block an area where the water used to go, and I'm sorry to say, they're causing the water to move across the road, forcing it across the road, changing the topography. And we can get the EPA, but we need somebody like a governor, congressman, county commissioner. We need maybe Baxley. We need people to see that the law gets enforced, and we don't have issues like the indignity of waking up every time it rains in Florida and knowing that you're being treated this way by your local government. Here's a piece of county equipment. These people know exactly, engineering and the commission knows how to fix a shoulder so that the stormwater stays in the ditch, in the swale, in the easement. Here's the old county commission, and now the new county commission's doing the same thing. Here's the old 100 years. I mean, this is under the statute, and now it's violated. About 4 years ago, a guy just bought it, and the county got in bed with him, got involved, and they just said, oh, we have to do that. But now the governor's got to get involved and just straighten it out. Up on the other end of the street, about 100 yards up the road, we've got a county lot, and we've got an industrial facility that's in complete violation. They're sending their stormwater to the street, and then they're building it up so high it crosses the street. Everybody knows where it goes. It goes into the black community, and we are not going to allow bulldozers to come in and now put a permanent retention pond in to catch this industrial stormwater over in, let it come from the industrial facility that doesn't obey the law and put it into the residential area. We just don't trust that the county will do the right thing. This is industrial. EPA, DEP, St. John's, nobody lets these people do this. So you got to ask the right things. And don't get behind an old, yes, a railroad used to be here. That was 100 years ago that they got an easement. That's been completely covered over now. And now they're pushing water across the road. And it's just wrong. And thank you very much for watching.